Hi guys, it's me JB here from JB Sports obviously. I'm going to do a special video today. It's to do with the Burnley takeover. I've actually been quite quiet on the issue for several weeks now since it's emerged now that there's been two consortiums in the running to buy Burnley Football Club. One from America, namely let me just bear with me a minute. Namely ALG Capital. They're very much wanting to take over, and I think they've bid something in the region of about 500 million. But it also now has transpired that another consortium involving Dodgy lawyer Chris Farnell and Egyptian businessman Mohammed Al Kanashi have apparently, according to some press speculation, are now the front runners. But I hope they don't get it because I think if you look at the two potential deals more closely, I think the one from America sounds more plausible than the Egyptian one and Chris Farnell, and it's to do with Chris Farnell. Firstly, that I'm going to touch on. I'm going to touch on Chris Farnell and his dodgy past in a second or two. ALK Capital are in advanced negotiations with John Banaskevich, who's the main shareholder, and Chairman Matt Garlick. Now, I hope these two actually sell to them because I think they promise a lot more than what the Egyptians would be coming in. I think they're going to. The main thing is they're going to keep Sean Dash, and they want to back him in January. So they want to get the job. They want to get the takeover deal. The Americans, by the sounds of it, long before January, which would be great news, which would be fantastic news. What I'm worried about is, will Garlick do? I hope Garlick does the decent thing and sell to them and not sell to these Egyptians and Chris Farnell. He's a lawyer, sports lawyer. He's looked after Cristiano Ronaldo and all that. Now, this is my fear if we get taken over by the Egyptians, and it's Chris Farnell. And a lot of Burnley fans, quite rightly, are worried. I mean, personally, I'd have my Garlick and Chris Farnell in charge because, you look at his shady past. He's been cleared of all sorts of stuff, but he has been banned from running football clubs. He tried to take over Charlton Athletic. He's overturned the ban, but there's a lot of stuff going on. He's with this Chris Farnell. He's a dodgy He's a dodgy lawyer. Played a part in Bury and stuff like that. Let me just check. I want to check Chris Farnell's fast because I really am concerned about Chris Farnell because the thing is, and I'm going to type this while I'm recording it at the moment because I've got the thing up there. Now, Chris Farnell. Let's have a look at him. Chris Farnell, the lawyer, because he's a lawyer by trade. Let's have a look at him. We're going to go on Landslide for this piece. I don't know. I've not really done my research, but he looks a dodgy character. Charlton fans are saying. He comes from Cheshire. He happens to come from Cheshire. So this is the thing. He's a 50-year-old lawyer from Cheshire and has previously been involved in a controversial takeover saga with Charlton Athletic, which meant his identity apparently was not revealed despite the public discussions. He got a ban overturned from taking over an English club, which he claimed was a result of failure to tick a box, confirming that he'd been involved with the sale of Charlton Athletic Football Club. Sounds a bit dodgy to me, to be quite honest, or he'd been involved in a proposed takeover of Charlton Athletic. Now, Farnell is apparently been given the go-ahead to buy Burnley. He wants to be £200 million, but the Americans want to, ALG want to, of course, bid more for it, which I hope so. But apparently, Garlick has been talking to Farnell and El Kalash, or whatever he's called. But he's been involved with a controversial. As I said, he's been involved with Dodgy taking over as well. Apparently he's got a long history in UK sport. Tyson Fury, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Silva, Roberto Martinez against his former clients. He was a director at Wigan Athletic, then had a spell trying to work in at Leeds United, and he was involved with talks over the future of Bury, where he basically, along with Steve Dale, got them, sold them down the river and got them liquidated. He's also almost put Bolton in financial trouble. He's done some dodgy things at Charlton. He looks a very dodgy, shady character. How the football authorities have not barred him, I will never know, and quite frankly, I will never get to the bottom of why that was the case. But one thing is for certain, or for one thing is for sure, I think there is something dodgy going on about this fella. He could have. I mean, if he'd have taken over Leeds United, he could have. He could have been a problem. Now he's a senior partner in IPS Law, which is a legal firm based in Chesham in Hale. Or it's called Storch Partners Limited. That's the vehicle for the proposed takeover if they get it. An independent legal arbitration panel has considered the review application and has concluded that given the circumstances, a 5-week period of disqualification was appropriate, an EFL spokesman told The Athletic, which is a website, regards to Farnell's failure to pass the English Football League's Owners and Directors Fit and Proper test. It then goes on to say, according to Mr. Farnell's period of disqualification is deemed to have been lifted on September the 14th of this year and is now no longer subject to a disqualifying condition under EFL regulations. A statement released after Farnell's ban was overturned. Sports lawyer Chris Farnell was given the green light last night to pursue an ownership of a Football League club, which it sounds a bit. I think this is a dubious man. Now, why the EFL have not blocked him, I will never know. It then goes on to say he was informed of his disqualification condition had been lifted, successfully appearing to the independent league arbitration panel. In other words, he's bribed the lawyers. Because he's a lawyer. Oh, I'll bribe the old judges with money. You know what I mean? The panel heard, apparently, that an inadvertent mistake had been made during the initial owners and directors test application, and there was no dishonest or deliberate attempt to provide false or misleading information. The decision means that Mr. Farnell is now free to reapply under the EFL's OADT if he wished to do so without prejudice or restriction. Doesn't sound right to me. I think there's some dodgy deals going on there. That's a little bit of Mr. Farnell, but he's played a part in liquidating Bury. He's sold Charlton down the river. He also sold Bolton almost to oblivion. I don't think this guy's up for it. So if I was Mike Garlick tonight, I would seriously consider selling to the Americans, because I think their promises and their ambitions for the club outweigh what the Egyptians and Chris Farnell want to do. Chris Farnell, let me just put it on record now, and I don't want to get involved in the legalese, but Chris Farnell, from what I've read about him, is a dodgy character. As I said, he's liquidated Bury, he's almost liquidated Charlton, he's almost liquidated Bolton Wanderers. Could have done serious damage when he was at Leeds a few years back. He's a dodgy character, and if I was you, Mike Garlick, do not get involved with Chris Farnell. How the EFL have allowed him, or a court of arbitration have allowed him to continue to look at buying a football club when he's been suspended from running one, is a joke. There's blood money in this, I'm telling you now. If he takes over Burnley, he will sell us down the river. We'll go the same way as Bolton. Now, to be quite honest, I'd rather have Mike Garlick in charge, and I'm not his biggest fan. But if I was you, Mike Garlick, sell to the Americans, do the right thing. If you think the club, I honestly think the Americans are the best way of going about this. If we don't, they've got to do something here. They've got to make the right decision for the future of Bury Football Club. Of course, it needs investment. Of course, Sean Dyche needs backing. I don't think these Egyptians can do it. I don't think Chris Farnell's fit enough to do it. But I think I've always believed that I think if we go down the American route, I think we could do well. I think the Americans, big business, it's one of the biggest economies in the world. Think of the structure and the finances that could bring to Burnley Football Club having American owners involved. You see at Liverpool, they just won the Premier League with an American owner. I honestly think the American route is the one we have to choose. I don't think it's a no-brainer. You look at Chris Parnell's dodgy record, it is dodgy as hell, and we should stay well clear of people like him, prats like him, because he will sell this. He will sell Burnley Football Club. Mark my words, well and truly down the river, and it's a no-brainer for me. We have to sell to ALK. We have to. My God, if you're serious about selling up and safeguarding Burnley Football Club for the immediate future, sell to ALK. They want to get things in motion straight away. For 3 reasons. 1, they're going to keep Sean Dyche, which I think is brilliant news. Secondly, he will have funds to strengthen the side as and when he sees fit in January. He'll have unlimited backing like he's never had backing before. Then we'll see how good a manager he is with good money behind him. And 3, it's a no-brainer because, let's face it, the Egyptian consortium with Chris Farnell is an accident and a disaster. I am telling you now, waiting to happen. Remember, this is the same Chris Farnell that nearly sank Charlton Athletic. This is the same Chris Farnell that nearly sank Bolton Wanderers and Leeds United. And this is the same Chris Farnell that actually played a part along with Steve Dale in sinking Bury Football Club. We cannot touch this guy with a barge pole. We must reject the Egyptian offer, take the American offer, and really safeguard the football club's future and give Sean Dyche the money he needs to strengthen in January and hopefully get us out of this relegation mess that we're in at the moment, because we're third bottom at the moment with 1 point on the board. Got a tough game coming up tomorrow afternoon against Chelsea, and we need to win that one. But it's going to be desperately difficult against a very good side. But we need to sell to the right bidder, and I think the American one has got a lot more going for it than the Egyptian one, and especially when they've got somebody as dodgy as Chris Farnell in charge. That's my opinion. Now, Burnley fans, you could have a different opinion to me. You could have a different outlook to it on me, but to me, it's a no-brainer. I think we've got to sell to ALK, not to Egypt, and especially not to a man who's got a very dodgy past in football, in running a football club, in Chris Farnell. That's all I've got to say on the matter, and I've kept quiet, but now, because of everything that's probably going to be very imminent, I think, in my opinion, Mike Garlick has, the simple choice is the Americans or bust. We go with the Americans, we'll be fine. We go with the Egyptians and Chris Farnell, we're going to be shafted, as well as I'm concerned, all because I think of Chris Farnell's dodgy past. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button for when we're on next. I had to say my 2 pence on my pros and cons, but I think if we go down the American route, we'll be fine. If we choose Chris Farnell and the Egyptians, that's basically it, really. It'll be a downward spiral, sadly to disaster, if we accept the Egyptian offer. But that's my opinion. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Keep your comments clean and respectful, of course. We are obviously we have youngsters watching. I've not sworn once tonight, which is quite an achievement, really, on these sort of things. But I'm not ranting about it, because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. But I seriously hope Mike Garlick makes the right selling and sells to the Americans. I think it's a no-brainer. He has to sell, and I think the American owners and the American consortium have got more money behind them than these Egyptians and Chris Farnell. He will sell us down the river. How he's not been barred from the EFL, I will never know. For running a football club, I will never know. Anyway, have a good evening, have a good weekend. I'm not sure if I'll be doing any commentaries this weekend, but watch this space. But anyway, until next time, from me, JB, have a fantastic weekend anyway. And take care. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.